Welcome back to Between Two White Coats, a podcast designed to help you be the healthiest version of yourself. I'm Dr. Michelle Plaster, a family medicine doctor.
And I'm her co-host, Amber Foster, a family nurse practitioner. In our combined 30 years in medicine, we've seen a lot.
We're discussing key issues surrounding health and wellness, answering some of our biggest questions, overcoming health obstacles, and giving patient-centered advice in hopes of educating you and providing the tools you need to live a healthy life.
If you find our podcast helpful, please consider subscribing so you don't miss an episode. And don't forget to leave us a 5-star rating and review. This will help other people find our podcast.
Thanks for joining us. We look forward to serving you.
Welcome back to Between Two White Coats. Today, we're going to talk about something that Shelly and I are passionate about, a medical weight loss program and kind of what we offer here at Our Family Health.
We think medical weight loss is super important. We've talked about this on podcast episodes in the past. Obesity and being overweight is really an endocrine disorder. It's really a medical issue. Your body changes when you have more fat cells. Your hormones change. Everything gets adjusted. And so people will say, I'm trying everything. I'm eating right and exercising. I'm eating less, burning more. And so why am I not losing weight? And it's because your body's working against you. You know, It's very much like if someone is diabetic or hypertensive, your body's working against you, and we have to do things to get your body back in line. And we can do those things, but many, many times it is going to go much better, and you will have improved results and success if you approach it from a medical standpoint. So there are a ton of medical weight loss programs that are out there. This is a billion-dollar industry. If
people will pay for skinny, that's what I say.
People will pay for skinny. That unfortunately don't always pay for healthy. And we try to correlate, like, we want you to improve your health while you're losing weight, while you're getting to that better weight. But people are... It's an aesthetic thing, you know. It's not easy being overweight. People get a lot of self-esteem issues and how the world sees you. And so there's just a lot to it, which makes us think that a medical weight loss program is really a great idea for people who are going on this journey. And so if you were to Google in this billion-dollar industry, medical weight loss programs, a whole lot of stuff pops up. And so what do we feel like people should look for if they're looking for a medical weight loss program?
So I think that people like to term it medical weight loss, and definitely I'm not bashing any of them. I'm sure some of them have been programmed by someone that is medical. But when I think about a medical weight loss program, I think about a team approach of medical weight loss. So here at our clinic, like, people come in and they sit with us and they I ask a ton of questions. It's not like, oh, here, you want this check and then you get X, Y, or Z. Like, it is truly a comprehensive visit. I sit with patients. I ask a ton of questions about, like, what are you currently doing? What have you done in the past? How much do you weigh currently, and how much have you weighed 10 years ago? Like, what is your journey of being overweight or obese like? And so I really feel like it's a relationship. I'm going to do this. If you're watching us on YouTube, you'll see me, but weight loss is here.
She's pointing to her brain.
I'm pointing to my brain because weight loss is here. I have seen it a million times over. And so I will tell patients, I don't care if you have 5 pounds to lose. I don't care if you have 105 pounds to lose. I need to be sitting with you because it takes an average. I have seen this. I've worked here at this particular clinic for 8.5 years. It takes me about a year to retrain someone's brain.
Yeah.
Because I can get them to lose weight. I can throw all the things at them. I always tell people, like, I can get you to lose weight. I can get the pounds off, but that's not what matters to me. I need you healthy. I need you to be able to sustain this long term. I need you to change your brain about weight loss. And I feel like some of them, quote unquote, I'm also doing something if you can't see it on the podcast with my fingers in quotes.
Now she has the air quotes.
Air quotes. These medical weight loss programs are, oh, well, here's this and here's this. And yes, you'll lose weight. But if you are not having a team approach where you are sitting with someone and a medical nurse practitioner, a physician, a PA, a nutritionist, a health coach, you're not getting that. Yeah. You're not getting the full, like, what I feel like a true medical weight loss program is.
Yeah. Oh, you've just said so much. I'm gonna recap.
Go.
I'm gonna recap all of these. Like, I'm gonna put exclamation points on some stuff. Change your brain and your body will follow. Yeah. I say all the time, your body hasn't made a single decision. Stop being mad at it. Yeah. It's not your body's fault. Yeah. It's not your fat cell's fault.
Yes. And you can't heal you can't heal it if you hate it. You
Oh.
know? Like you can't
Woo,
heal.
let's sit with that for a second.
Woo! But if you
can't
hate,
heal it if you hate it.
and
And that is a
mental.
huge barrier for people in weight loss.
Yes.
Is we're trying to teach them to take care of something that they don't value, and you don't take care of things that you don't value. Okay, everybody, write that one down. If you're driving right now, pull over while you write. You can't heal it if you hate it. You got to care about yourself so that you can then take care of yourself.
Because often when we sit with patients, a lot of them will be crying, or if I see they're at their
this
wits'
journey
end,
is hard.
It's so hard. And I'm like, listen, you are more than your weight, and I can get the weight off of you, but if I can't change how you feel about your own body by healing your brain and your thought process around getting you healthy, then I can get you to lose the weight, but it's gonna bounce right back up.
It's gonna bounce right back because you really haven't changed what you value.
Yeah.
You really haven't valued your own self-care.
Yeah, and if someone's just throwing things at you and you're not having those conversations, then it's not sustainable.
Yeah, absolutely. Exclamation points on a couple of other things you said. I think meeting people where you are is a key for any kind of life change. And with this weight loss journey, you have to have someone helping you on this journey who meets you where you are and helps you get motivated to better. And so there's a motivation component to it. There's a desire to change. There's getting to the underlining issues of why you haven't changed yet. And then helping guide you. And so, Amber talked a lot about, there's a lot of questions and a lot of getting to know and a lot of helping lead people in this journey so that they will then be able to have sustainable change.
And like often I'll tell patients, like, there is definitely lazy obesity, 1,000%. Like I'll tell the patients, you being lazy. But often that is not the case. Mm-hmm. They have already tried other things by the time they get to us and they're sobbing.
Yeah. Absolutely. I think that what happens in a medical weight loss program, also, in addition to like just seeing a nutritionist or getting a personal trainer or joining a gym, what a medical weight loss program should be doing for you, and what I hope we're always doing for our patients, is recognizing what's going on in your body and helping you with that.
Like the root cause.
And so when I sit with people on that first weight loss visit and we're gathering this information, I'm looking at their medicines that they're on. There's patients who are on medicines that cause weight gain, and there are other medicines that will do the job that do not cause weight gain. So sometimes we have to start picking away at, if you're on 3-4 medicines, let's look at whether those medicines are causing lethargy, sleepiness, and so you can't be functional to get your exercise, or causing weight gain just by nature of taking the medicine. We're also getting lab work to make sure we're not missing something. Is there something going on in your body that's working against you? Do you have undiagnosed sleep apnea? Do you have undiagnosed or unaddressed depression? And you can't get motivated to do things because of depression, not because you're lazy. Yeah. Or is there a thyroid disorder? Are there other things that we need to catch? So there's a lot of labs we do depending on your age. We may throw hormones in there for estrogen, progesterone, testosterone, trying to recognize what's going on in your body so that we can help your body work for, not against you, because for many people, their body is working against them. And if we don't identify why, they're not going to be successful with all the changes. I also think what is important about a medical weight loss program is that it is guided by medically trained people. There are a number of places that pop up all over the country, and the program was written by a doctor, but it is performed by someone that facility trained, that may have very little background training or knowledge. So know who you're working with. Are you working with a nutritionist? Are you working with a personal trainer, a physical therapist? Are you working with a doctor, a nurse practitioner? That'll tell you what knowledge they're bringing. But if it's called medical weight loss, I think it should have people who are medically trained and medically supervised. Yeah, absolutely. And too many medical weight loss programs don't. The other thing that medical weight loss programs will often incorporate is prescriptions. And so it's important for us to recognize, is there something going on in your body that's working against your weight loss? And if so, can we do something to help move that in the right direction? And we've done episodes. We have 2 episodes in the past. One about semaglutide, which is a very popular weight loss prescription, and one about all the different weight loss prescriptions that are out there. And these prescriptions are effective and they do help. And I think we need to take our brain out of putting these into the only lazy people use weight loss prescriptions. I think that would be like saying only lazy people use blood pressure pills. They should cut their salt and exercise more. These prescriptions exist because people need them. And if that's going to be what helps get people to their best health, then we should encourage and look at those. Yeah. What do you think a good comprehensive weight loss program needs to entail?
So we've mentioned like sitting down with a provider. I feel like that has to be where you start, because I say the same thing to my kids. So I hope this doesn't come across like I don't know, but I see things you don't. And so, like, big picture wise, you may not know me well. And of course, this is also where you establish trust with the provider. But, like, I see a bigger picture than what you see. Like,
you don't sound arrogant in saying that. Yeah, you sound experienced.
Thank you. Thank you.
And people only know what they know. And they know their journey. But we've had the blessing of sitting with thousands of people in their journey and reading thousands of articles about this.
Like, I'm constantly looking for I constantly am reading and researching, and truly most of the things that I have learned have been truly in practice, like seeing patients and tweaking things and saying, well, this worked for this patient and then this didn't work for that patient and this did. Right. And so I feel like sometimes like I see a bigger picture, so I can get kind of a bigger, broader scope that you can't even see.
People will stay on their broken path.
Yeah.
And because it's the path they know.
Yeah.
And so it takes an outsider frequently with expertise to help you learn a new path.
Yes.
And then it takes accountability to keep you on that path, because you will keep trying to migrate back to the path that you know.
It's easy, least resistance.
Yeah. And that's just how you've done it your whole life. And it's what you know. So you keep kind of falling back into it. And so the number one thing that creates success in weight loss is accountability.
Yeah. An action plan, like the accountability and then for us to have a plan with you.
Yes.
And to say, hey, these are our expectations of you. Like, I can't go home with you. It'd probably be easier if I could, but
easier maybe. Having Amber live with you might not be easy.
Might be a little bit more difficult, but like just to have the action plan to say, this is big picture what I see. This is what I'm going to make you be responsible for. This is our plan. We'll tweak it because often I have to. But like this is kind of what we see. This is what I know may or mostly will work. If not, we'll tweak it.
Yep.
But
you're going to try to get off track, and I'm going to keep
bulldoze
you
right back on. So I feel like action plans are a big deal. I feel like lifestyle coaching is a big deal because stress is such a huge, and time management is such a. Sometimes, again, because I'm looking at the bigger picture, people are like, well, I have no time to exercise. And I'm like, okay, well, what do you do on Saturday mornings? What do you do on Sunday evenings? Like, can you give me 15 minutes twice a week? Like, that's initially sometimes all I'm asking.
Yeah.
Like, where can we start training you to say, hey, this may be an opportunity for you, instead of like sitting in the car rider line, park, walk while your kids, because dear Lord, I feel like that's all I'm doing.
Right.
Like walk 15 minutes while you wait on your kids
on your
out of
lunch
school.
break, instead of going to your car and taking a nap.
Yeah.
Go to a park and take a walk. So you can help problem solve, but people sometimes can't see things that are pretty obvious from an outside perspective, but not obvious when you're living it. You just know you're overwhelmed and tired, and you can't find time to eat healthy or get some activity. Absolutely.
And then nutrition plans, like creating, it's funny to me because I'll say, well, why don't you just bake broccoli? Because really all I do is bake. Y'all know I don't cook, and I do everything at 350. Like, I don't care what the recipe says. Right. And like it just goes 350 because that's the first button I push. But like some people just don't even realize that you don't have to steam broccoli. You can bake broccoli. Like, just to have someone sit down with you nutritionally and say, let's try this. Let's meal plan this.
Right.
Try to follow this.
We all know when we're trying to come up with what we're going to eat that week, whether we're trying to lose weight or not, you just go, well, what did we eat last week? That's probably what we're going to eat again this week.
Just like so many people need to eat in my house. I'm like, oh my goodness, how much more food can we do?
And so really just having someone help you come up with that nutrition plan. In our weight loss program, there's a few things that we really try to stay centered on. One is the accountability and the action planning. And at first, when you're going down this journey, we do those visits closer together because we don't want to give you enough time to start to get off track, and it's not habit for you yet. I've mentioned on here before that I've done some drug and alcohol counseling prior to becoming a med student. And at first we say you should go to AA every day, if not 3 times a day. And if you're still going to AA 3 times a day in a year, then it's not taking. And I apply that to any kind of lifestyle change. At first, it needs to be in your face because it's hard. Then it becomes more habit. And so until hard becomes a habit, we need to be there for you. And so we will do once a week, come in, meet with one of our staff, do an accountability visit, talk about what your action plan is just for the next week. It's not too big. Just what are you going to do for the next week? Mm-hmm. And then we start spacing that to 2 weeks and then once a month. And then maybe you're in a maintenance program where we're just seeing you quarterly to make sure that you're staying on track. But those accountability visits are important. And that's where we really start digging into what changes can you make so that you're taking baby steps in the right direction. A lot of baby steps in the right direction in a year is a completely new lifestyle. Yeah. We also really believe in having the best medical professionals to be able to create these different aspects. So we have a physical therapist who helps with movements. Sometimes people haven't been moving at all and they're scared of it and they don't know. So we can do an evaluation based on your movement, and our physical therapist will let you know this is where we start safely. And then this is how we progress. And
people are like, it hurts. I'm like, it's kind of supposed to.
Yeah. But
I don't want you to be miserable.
Too bad, because if you're 400 pounds and someone says you got to walk 2 miles a day, no, that's going to tear your knees up and you're going to hate walking and you're going to end up not being able to do anything. Yeah. So what if we start with seated and then we lose some weight and we move towards small walks to slightly longer walks to slightly faster walks, and then you're running before you know it. All while you're dropping some pounds, so you're not carrying as much weight while you're trying to do all this exercise. But having someone help you know that you're getting started safely so that you can start moving. And you may think you hate movement, but let me tell you, once you start moving, it creates the endorphins. You feel good. You're proud of yourself for being able to do it, but you need a coach. You need someone that has the expertise to help you with that.
I think I'm pretty sure this patient showed you this, or someone did, but I have a patient who he has lost about 90 pounds.
Oh my gosh, yes.
And he made a video.
Checkout. It was such a blessing. I was at checkout and I was just like trying to get an appointment made for someone, and someone said, you got to show Dr. Plaster your video. And he made a video, and he should edit stuff. He was really good. And he made a video about his whole journey in weight loss. And what was his theme that he kept saying through the whole thing?
Amber, I'm doing it. Because I said, you're going to have to, he's a single guy. And I said, you're going to have accountability. And he's only seeing me once a month. And I'm like, I want to see that you've been on that treadmill. I want to see that so now he's running. But we started 90 pounds heavier. He has now went from walking at a very slow speed and just saying, Amber, I'm doing it. Look, I'm doing it. And then he's like, and I actually ran, and it was the best. And it cracks me up, but I'm so thankful.
I think he ended that video with the most profound, and it's what you started by saying. He said, you got to care about yourself enough to make the changes. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, that's so powerful. Can we put it in our lobby?
Can we please use it?
Yeah, it was, and the fact that his journey was so motivational for him that he put it down like that, it was fabulous.
Yeah.
It is a journey. It is a lifelong journey. People also want there to be a finish line in the weight loss adventure.
There's
no finish line. We're either gaining or losing. We don't stay still. I'll gain 4 pounds in a day and then got to lose those 4 pounds tomorrow. And so, but I say to people all the time, I always equate trying to live a healthy life to trying to live a strong religious life. That church doesn't exist because we don't know the rules. Church exists because we need to be reminded, because it's harder to do the right thing. Mm-hmm. And the same exact thing is true of your health. It will never stop. I wish I had different news, but the news is it will never stop being harder to do the right thing. Yeah. So you need people who motivate you. You need a community that lifts you into living a good life and taking good care of yourself. You need your medical team who say, say, hey, you got a little off track. Let's not get too far off track. People will come in and say, okay, you probably think it's no big deal, but I've gained 10 pounds and I feel like I need to get back on that prescription and I need to get back on track. And I'm like, no, I think it's a really big deal that you're here because you caught it at 10 pounds. Don't wait until it's 50 pounds before you get back on track, because then you got to turn around the Titanic.
Well, and I've had patients that have lost 100 pounds. They've maintained it for 7 years. They still see me. I typically see them mid-October, and they will see me monthly, October, November, December, January, because
That's so smart.
Because of our culture.
Yeah.
We have all of the holidays that come up right there. And so they know that is a time that they can slip. And like the 10 or 15 pounds at Thanksgiving and then the 5 or 10 pounds at Christmas, well, come January, they've gained 20 pounds. And
I think I just came up with a new diagnosis: seasonal eating disorder. It's like seasonal affective disorder, but it's seasonal eating disorder. So we're only going to treat you during the seasons of which, but it reminds them every year they can't get too far off track, and they've been proactive to the times that they know create barriers for them. It's brilliant.
And that's just because we've had lots of conversations.
Yeah.
We have seen that pattern, and I'm like, okay, well, we know you're going to...
And they've accepted that this is a lifelong journey, and so every year they take this as part of what they do. I think that's just brilliant.
Yeah.
Medical weight loss programs are on every corner. They are a Google search away from many, many of them, and there's a number of really good ones out there. Be careful. There's also a lot out there that are really just trying to sell semaglutide online, but they're not giving you any kind of guidance on that's a really big thing right now.
Yeah.
Or they're kind of selling it as a medical weight loss program, but there's no medical providers. There's no blood work being done. There's no real medical evaluations. You don't have to have a medical weight loss program. Personal trainers work, gyms work, nutritionists work. We believe strongly in having the team of the mental health professional, the nutritionist, the physical therapist, and the doctors and nurse practitioners, and we all put our brains together in building our medical weight loss program so that we can help identify your barriers. We can make sure you have the best people to coach you up on what you should be doing so that you're learning it right. And then we're going to keep being your team throughout your life so that you can continue on this journey of good health. For a lot of people, they're motivated by weight loss. For us, we're motivated by your good health. But one frequently goes right along with the other, because when you're losing weight, you're making these better, healthy decisions. So if you're on the fence as to whether you might be interested in a medical weight loss program, we certainly do stand behind them. We think that ours has made a difference for a lot of people. And so feel free to reach out to us if we can be of assistance, or look for a good weight loss program, or talk to your primary care about one that might be in your area. We like to leave you on a good note. So here's today's Tell Me Something Good, brought to you by our brilliant Maddie from our call center. Maddie, tell me something good.
Something good is Fridays. It's a day that you look forward to throughout the week, and every time it gets here, you get more excited for it because it means it's the start to your beautiful weekend.
And we get one every week.
Exactly.
Thanks, Maddie. Something good is Friday. Thank you for joining us today, and until next time, take care of yourself.